I'm Tom Stevens. He's Josh Harvey. It is 5 stars. Well, he's not quite, but a 4-star. Pretty close. From Montini Catholic High School in Illinois. 6'1", 200, and he is having a fabulous year, Josh. 50 catches, 878 yards, 16 TDs. Talking about Jordan Westerkamp, and he joins us right now on 5 stars. Hey, Jordan. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about the kind of season. Tell us about your season so far. How's it been going for you? What's the competition been like, and how excited are you to become a Husker?
It's been a great season. We started off a little slow at 0-2, but we played some really good teams, and our starting quarterback actually broke his thumb the week before our first game, so we were dealing with a little bit of some adversity, but we had some players step up, and we actually ended the season at 7-2, so now we're starting the playoffs. We have our first playoff game tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. And the season's just been going great, and we're all excited for the playoffs, and hopefully we can get that third state championship. That would be something pretty special. And about becoming a Husker, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Once I finish up here at the Broncos, I turn all my attention towards the Cornhuskers, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get out there.
Hey, Jordan, it's Josh from Big Red Report. I look at your stats. You went from 51 catches to 89 between your sophomore and junior season. You increased your yardage by 500 yards. This year, you're on pace once again to put up some really big-time numbers, but at the same time, I know teams are really starting to focus in on you. You're facing double and triple teams. Just talk about the coverage you're having to beat as a wide receiver and the extra attention defenses are putting on you.
Yeah, every single game so far this year, I've had either double or triple or, some sort of weird defense that teams will make up to cover me. I don't think I've had a punt kicked to me in the air yet or a kickoff. So it's tough, but, it helps our team out a lot with when they do coverages like that on defense. It opens up the field for a lot of other players, for other receivers. So, it benefits us. But, I'm just trying to do, what I can, whenever I can. So, we've still been able to make a lot of good plays. So the season's been going great. With those defenses, we just have to adapt, and we have been.
Well, it certainly hasn't hurt your stats, Jordan. Every time I look up, it's 2 touchdowns and another 100 yards receiving. So it hasn't really hurt you, the doubles and triple teams, to a great extent. Tell us about your decision to choose Nebraska, because a whole host of people recruited you: Arizona, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan State, Minnesota, Purdue, West Virginia, among others. What made you decide this is the place for me? I want to be a Husker.
I went out and I visited all over the place, with my family. It seemed like every weekend I was somewhere. It was the busiest I've ever been. But it helped me out so much because when I got to Nebraska and I got to experience it in person, it just completely blew me off my feet compared to the other schools I've been to. When I went to Nebraska, I had that gut feeling that I knew it, and, the players and the coaches and the campus and the people and the academics, everything seemed to click. At Nebraska, it just, like I said, everything clicked, and it was just unbelievable. And it made my decision a lot easier to go there and see it in person. And once I did that, I knew that I was going to become a Cornhusker.
Jordan, we talked to you before you committed, and one of the biggest things you were wanting to evaluate at Nebraska was the change in the offense under Coach Tim Beck. And obviously we've seen those changes, a faster pace offense. They're throwing the ball a little bit more. For you, how big of an importance was this offense in your decision? And so far, what have you seen from the Tim Beck offensive style at Nebraska?
It's pretty important, because as a receiver, I like to catch the ball. I like a passing offense, but I can block too. But I like, to catch balls and do stuff like that. So it was pretty important to me when I, made my decision. And it seems like they've been doing pretty well the whole year. They got Michigan State tomorrow, so I'll be able to see it again. But Coach Beck's been doing a great job coming in here as the offensive coordinator, and they have been throwing the ball around a lot. So it's impressed me, and it just gets me more excited.
Are you planning on redshirting? Do you think you can play immediately? What's your plan, or are you just thinking about the playoffs right now?
Mainly focusing on the playoffs, but it's in the back of my mind. But I definitely want to, if I have the opportunity, which I know I'll have that opportunity, I definitely want to try to play as early as I can. If that's as a freshman or sophomore, we'll see what happens.
Jordan, nobody knows your game better than yourself. What are some of the biggest things you want to work on this offseason after your season is over to kind of get yourself ready to come to Nebraska?
I have that never satisfied attitude, so I'm always, trying to get better in every area as possible. You can never be so good at one area that you can just stop working at it. So, I'm always trying to work at all areas, and, I'm just trying to get better in every aspect that I can, if that comes to speed or, your weightlifting or your just your field knowledge on the field, and you're thinking about defenses like that. So, I'm always trying to get better in all areas.
Talking with Jordan Westerkamp, Nebraska commit of Montini Catholic High School. He's a 4-star commit, chose Nebraska over a bunch of different schools. Take us through your visit, because I think a lot of people wonder about what happens to a recruit when they get there. What game did you visit for this year, and what happened on your visit, and who was your host, that type of thing? Tell us about it.
Okay, yeah. For my official visit, I was at the Ohio State game, and as you guys all know, that was a pretty special game, and it was just unbelievable how that they came back and they show how much heart they have, and not being able to fold at halftime. So that was great, and seeing that was just unbelievable. But I came there with I think 16 family members, so we had a pretty big crew that went out there. But it was great, and my host was David Sutton. He's a freshman tight end, and it was pretty cool. And after the game, he just took me around town and showed me a lot of the areas. So it was great to see that, but it was overall just a great visit.
A lot of people have talked about that post-game celebration after the Ohio State game. You were there. It must have been, well, obviously it was crazy. What was it like to be with the guys after that win?
Oh, it was unbelievable. My heart was pounding. I was so excited, and I was just like, man, this could be me next year. It's going to be me next year. I can't wait. It just got me so excited. All the coaches were screaming and yelling, and everybody was so happy. It was awesome. It was awesome. For them to come back, I think it was the biggest comeback in school history. So that was a really historical game for them. So it was just great to be there.
Jordan, I think everybody thinks that when a player commits that his recruiting is probably over, but at the same time, as soon as you committed, you were on the phone trying to recruit for Nebraska, trying to bring in other guys. I know you have a strong relationship with a Florida safety and Jordan Diggs. Just talk about those type of efforts, and are you encouraged to reach out to other guys, and what is your biggest selling point when you're talking to other recruits?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ever since I committed, I've been trying to reach everybody and talk to anybody I can. There's a defensive tackle that's from my area, Vincent Valentine, who Nebraska's getting a good look at, so I'm trying to talk to him. And like you said, Jordan Diggs, and I have a good relationship with Nico Rose. He's committed, but we're just trying to talk to a bunch of guys, and I just basically tell all the guys you have to give it a chance and visit, because the visit's what got me to commit to Nebraska. So I just go out there and just make a visit. Worst thing that could happen is you went out there, you saw it, and you know what? Maybe you're still thinking about another school and you're still stuck on that. That's fine, So, I just tell them, I just give it a chance and give it a visit, because Nebraska is a special place, and I want them to experience that.
Jordan, who recruited you among the Nebraska coaching staff, and what'd you think when you first met Bo Pelini?
Coach Garrison was the recruiting coordinator for my area, so he's the guy who did everything. He offered me on over the phone, and when I met Coach Bo, I was pretty intimidated. I've just seen him on TV a lot, and he's an intimidating guy. But once I got to talk to him and got to know him, it changed, and he's a real nice guy, and I can't wait for him to be my coach next year and get to know him even more.
Let me ask you about that, because I think the perception is of what people see of Bo Pelini on TV. But does that match the real guy?
No. It's when you get to know him and actually sit down and talk to him, he's a real nice guy, and he's just he's calm, and he's just awesome to be around, and I feel like I'm like a legend's presence when I'm talking to him. So it's just really, really cool.
Jordan, there's only 7 commitments right now for Nebraska. That's actually the lowest number in the Big Ten. But when you look at the guys who have committed, there's a lot of talent there. Just what are your feelings about your overall class at this point as you look at guys like a Michael Rose or a Greg McMullen? I mean, how do you feel about this class, and how do you feel it's shaping up?
Yeah, I know this year Nebraska's recruiting class is going to be small. I know they only have like a certain amount of scholarships, but we have really great talent. Like you said, Michael Rose, and just all those guys in general, just great talent. And I'm going to be trying to talk to other kids, and hopefully we can get a couple more to commit, and it'll shape up to be a really nice recruiting class. It's already really nice, but we can get it better.
Jordan, as a wide receiver, one of the biggest importance for you is a good quarterback. Nebraska has 4-star Tommy Armstrong out of Texas. Have you watched Tommy's film? Have you talked with him very much? And what do you see from him as your quarterback of the future?
Yeah, I talked to him mainly through Facebook, and I've seen his highlight film. He looks like a great athlete, so I'm excited to get out there and throw the pads on with him and throw the ball around because he's got a great arm and he's a real smart quarterback. So I'm really looking forward to playing with him.
Well, you mentioned Tommy. I think you mentioned Michael Rose. What other currently committed guys have you gotten to know and kind of gotten close to so far?
I've talked to Paul Thurston. I've talked to him a lot. He's a big lineman and he'll be great. So I talked to Greg McMullen too, and he's another just humongous kid when you see him in person. So I mainly talked to those two guys, and I haven't spoken with Deion Jones yet. I got to get a hold of him, but I've talked to those two other guys and Michael Rose. So mainly those guys, and we've just been keeping in contact and keeping up a good relationship because we're going to be future teammates. So we've just been talking a lot and keeping up with each other.
Jordan, we appreciate your time, and hopefully as signing day approaches, we'll talk again. And I can tell you got a lot going for you, and we can't wait to see you in a Husker uniform.
Thank you so much.
There's Jordan Westerkamp, wide receiver out of Illinois from Montini Catholic High School.